Imagine living every day with no idea where your child is or your parent, spouse, brother, or sister. Well, that's the reality for more than 500 Arkansas families.
Are we as a state doing everything we can to find missing people? Tonight in part one of a special two-part series, Denise Middleton takes a closer look at how far we've come, what we're doing now, and what comes next.
These are the faces of Arkansans who have simply vanished. Every day, their families search in hopes of being reunited with them again. Very few know what these families endure, but Arkansas's Attorney General says she's doing everything she can to make sure they're never forgotten. It's a list no one wants their loved one to be a part of. Arkansas's missing persons database, which currently includes more than 500 people.
The families who are going through something that many of us cannot imagine. And that's living every single day without their loved one, not knowing whether or not they're alive, not knowing whether or not they will find that person, if they will have closure.
Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge works closely with the families desperately seeking to find those who are missing.
My heart breaks for these families because I can't imagine having my brother, my parents, a cousin, and now to, a soon-to-be mom, what that heartbreak must feel like.
As each day goes by, these faces are never forgotten. The AG's office makes sure law enforcement is trained and equipped to help their missing loved ones return home. At the annual Arkansas Takes Action event, officers receive special training to learn new techniques and enhance their skills. But the event also gives families a chance to come together to share stories and information.
That's why we encourage families to not only attend to find comfort in other families who are suffering and going through the same challenges.
And if there's anyone who knows exactly what they're going through, it's Colleen Nick, someone Rutledge and many others have found to be a huge champion for families over the years. Her daughter, Morgan Nick, has been missing for 23 years. The Morgan Nick Foundation serves as a resource for families like hers.
I think it's very important that families are able to come together and sit in a room with other people who really understand where their hearts are at, what it feels like to have open-ended grief all the time and to still find joy in your family.
But as they work to build those coping skills, it's also important for families to help law enforcement by providing DNA samples, which is another part of the Arkansas Takes Action event. Rutledge says DNA technology has played a major role in helping solve cases by matching human remains with the missing people databases. But while many are found, many others remain missing, gone without a trace. And the Attorney General believes some of us may hold the missing pieces.
I know that of these 500 plus Arkansans who are missing across our state, someone out there has information.
The Attorney General says her office is using every resource at its disposal to locate missing children and adults. Tomorrow, we travel to Alma to talk more with Colleen Nick about further training and awareness she says the state needs.
No one wants to think about these steps, but should you have a loved one come missing, we want you to get started on the right foot to know how to go about finding them, locating them, and bring them home safely.
Attorney General Leslie Rutledge hosted an annual event today focused on the families of missing persons in Arkansas. Right now, there are more than 500 missing people in our state. At today's Arkansas Takes Action event, families of the missing were welcome to come together, share stories, and meet the officers on the front lines of these searches. Training for law enforcement was also a part of today's event. But is the training we have in place enough? Colleen Nick, a mother known for helping countless families find their missing children, is still in search of her own child. The unsolved mystery of Morgan Nick's disappearance has taken many twists and turns over the past 2 decades and remains a very open and active case. Tonight, I sit down with Colleen to talk about what she believes will further help the state locate missing people.
I would tell Morgan that I love you. And we are looking for you so hard so you can come home.
23 years later, Colleen Nick has yet to give up hope that someday her daughter will come home.
For our family, it's heartbreaking that we are fighting so hard for her and we still don't know has happened to her.
June 9th, 1995, 6-year-old Morgan Nick disappeared during a Little League baseball game in Alma. She was playing with friends in a nearby field next to the parking lot and was last seen a few feet from her mother's car. While her disappearance remains a mystery, her story still resonates in the hearts of many.
Because of Morgan, other children have come home. Other children are protected and have not been taken.
The Morgan Nick Foundation has solved over 40 missing persons cases, but Colleen says there's still work to be done to prevent child abductions.
The trafficking of children is expected to grow exponentially in Northwest Arkansas over the next 10 years, possibly becoming the trafficking capital of the United States because of the interstate access.
Prevention and response are key, she says. Colleen wants Arkansas to be better prepared on our interstates when stopping cars to rescue children. One way is the IPC approach, or Interdiction for the Protection of Children, which teaches how to spot indicators of child sex trafficking and conduct roadside investigations.
This is what Texas learned to do, is to recognize those signs and to be able to intervene. And Arkansas has had some training on this, but we're not implementing it at the moment.
There are child abduction response teams in Arkansas, which include local, state, and federal agencies. But Colleen still wants to see more training at the academy level.
We don't have time to figure it out. That is why the training is so critical. They have to know before that child goes missing exactly who is going to respond and who is going to do what. And when you do that, then a child comes home safely.
Though most of her efforts have been focused on finding children, Colleen doesn't want missing adults to be forgotten either.
We don't have the manpower to do those things, and so we're not serving families who need help.
Her concern is that families of missing adults don't know where to find help.
There are adults who are missing whose families do not have the resources to search for them. They don't know where to turn, they don't know how to get the help they need, and so often law enforcement's response is an adult has the right to be missing if they want to.
Whether someone ran away, walked off, or was kidnapped, their families deserve answers. It's why Colleen's quest to help them is far from over.
What I don't want is for another family to go through what our family has experienced.
A profound emotional journey no one should have to travel. But each day, Colleen keeps pressing on in her unrelenting fight to bring Morgan back home.
I want to be able to look at my child and say, I never quit. I never quit fighting for you. You were worth fighting for, and I have fought for you every day to come home. So when it's too hard and when it's too long, and when I think about the fact that our 30th birthday is coming up this year, I remember that she's worth fighting for. And so I won't quit.